What is up, hooligans? And happy freedom. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Hooligans, where we try to make the news suck a little less. I appreciate all of you guys being here. If you're over on Rumble, please hit that like button. More likes equals more hooligans. We're going to read through the schedule really quick, and then we will be checking on all the chats. So let me know how you hooligans are doing today. Then, of course, we'll be getting things started. First, I want to give a huge shout out to Lone Wolf. Thank you so much for the buy me a coffees. You're a badass, Lone Wolf. Thank you so much for the support. We're going to be starting out with this first video titled, Can the U.S. Handle Another Emergency Amid Depleted Oil Reserve Due to the Iran War? I was wondering if this was going to happen. Now, they're saying it's really similar to where old man Walter had it when he depleted the reserves, but of course they weren't crying the same as they are now. Then we got a video titled, John Bolton to plead guilty. Apparently he's got a plea deal of sorts. I don't really know a lot about the situation, but I know he got a plea deal. Then we got an interesting video titled, Virginia Congressman Introduces Bill to Stop the Triumphal Arch, which President Trump was talking about earlier today, so we got a doubly. The first one's on that bill to stop the Triumphal Arch, or Arc, or whatever it is. And then the second video, President Trump announces 2 new D.C. projects along the adjustments to the Lincoln Memorial. They're going to be building a National Garden of American Heroes, and they're going to extend the Lincoln Memorial with a promenade or I don't know what it is, a promenade? I don't know what it is. Either way, then we got a video titled, Utah governor faces pushback from the shapeshifters and flamboyant people after declaring June Fidelity month. They don't like that at all. They're blowing their man-pons out. Then we got our midlife breaker funny video halfway through. Today it was provided by Ginger Fire, and it's titled Peak Male Insecurity. Then getting back into the news, we have a video titled Carmelo Anthony Murder Trial. Jury seated after prosecutors remove 3 potential black jurors. So it kind of seems like they're setting this up to be a mistrial or some goofy shit. This is also a doubly. The first one's going to be the jury selection. The second video, jury hears opening statements in Carmelo Anthony murder trial. I guess they watched a movie on their first day. Then we got a video titled SoCal Tech CEO accused of illegally supplying U.S. equipment to Iran, which sounds really serious, and he is facing 20 years, but I still think these punishments are too light for working with governments that we're not exactly getting along with. Then we got a video titled Illegal Border Crosser with Prior Criminal History Accused of Triple Murder. Now, what's interesting about this story is I can't figure out if the victims were illegal or not. Not that it exactly matters because he committed these murders here, but can't find a lot of information on the victims, which is interesting. Then we got a video titled Long Island Man Dies in Father's Arms After Woman Cuts His Throat While He Was Taking a Nap. He was taking a nap. Woman stabbed him right in the neck. And they're young, too. They're in their 20s. I don't know. Strange situation. For the last little bit of the news, it is Lefties Losing It. Today it's titled, Confused Pronoun Princess Embarrasses Herself. Now, this wasn't the longest of Lefties Losing It, but I did split it into 2 parts. That way we can have part 2 tomorrow, because they don't normally have Lefties Losing It on Friday. And we've been kind of on a roll with that. So we're going to cover part 1 today. Then we got our 2 funny videos of the day. First one was provided by Ghostly, and it's titled, Now You Know. And our official funny video of the day was provided by Colty, and it's titled, Trump is Perturbed. All of that's coming up next. But first, we're going to hop in the chat, see how you hooligans are doing today. And what is up, everyone, over on JeffMacLive.com. What's up, Zero? What's up, Snooks? What's up, Salty Ragu? What's up, Ghostly? What's up, Guess Some? What's up, Tin Man? What's up, Wrench? And what's up, Hair Juicer? Happy freedom, you hooligans. I appreciate all of you guys being on the website. And what is up, everyone over on Rumble? Elder Zoomer, you were first today. Happy freedom to you, and I appreciate you racing in the chat, Elder Zoomer. Let me see here. What's up, Sly Dog? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Wrench? Wrench, you're omnipresent. Appreciate you. What's up, Dutton? Happy freedom to you. Let me see. What's up, Cass? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Tony Brez? What's up, Watchman? Happy freedom, you hooligans. Make sure we get everybody here. What's up, Shannon? What's up, Trickster? Happy freedom to you, hooligans. What's up, Appeal to Evan? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Patriot Dad? Happy freedom to you. You weren't here yesterday. We were wondering if Rita was wearing your flesh. Thank you so much, Trickster, for gifting a sub over on Rumble. You're a badass, Trickster. Thank you so much for making more hooligans. Let me see. Make sure we get everybody. What's up, Plastic Quack? Happy freedom to you. Colty, you're omnipresent. Appreciate you. What's up, Jess Heat? Happy freedom to you. I'm doing all right, Dud. How are you doing today? Having a day. Dropping and knocking everything over. Well, I hope things turn around for you, Dutton. I'm moving really slow today. I don't know if you guys know. We're pretty late today. I don't even have a good reason why. It's just taking forever. It's Klaus's fault is what I mean. What is up, everyone over on the GoofTube? Salty Rego, you were first today. Appreciate you being omnipresent. Happy freedom to you. What's up, Kevin? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Toy Mafia? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Agent O? What's up, Salty Ginger? Happy freedom to you, hooligans. You guys are welcome to hit the like button over on the GoofTube. What is up, everyone over on Kick? Happy freedom to you, hooligans. What's up, everyone over on Twitch? What's up, Plukester? Happy freedom. Happy National Cheese Day. Today's Cheese Day? I didn't know that. I don't know what I'm having for dinner. Now I got to add cheese to it. Happy freedom to you, Plukester. What's up, everyone over on Blaze? And what is up, everyone over on X? Happy freedom to you, hooligans. Let's go ahead and get into things. Like I said, we're going to be starting out with this first video. Can the U.S. handle another emergency amid depleted oil reserves due to the Iran war? Now, they're saying we ain't going to make it. We're not going to make it. We're going to run out of all the oil. We still have a little bit more oil than old man Walter had on his worst day, but that doesn't matter. This is the worst day ever, according to these people. The sky is falling. Hit that like button. Let's get into this.
I'm Matt Gelka in Washington. Analysts are warning that America's oil reserves are getting critically low. America is currently draining its oil reserves to historically low levels because of the ongoing conflict with Iran and the closure of the Strait of Hormuz.
The strategic reserve is probably just about a week or two away from reaching its lowest level since 1983.
GasBuddy's head of petroleum analysis, Patrick DeHaan, says the United States agreed early on in the war to release an export reserves along with other countries in an effort to keep oil prices down globally. The reserves currently sit around 357 million barrels, nearly 60 million barrels less than it was before the start of the war. It could put the U.S. in a bind if another emergency comes up.
And there's just no telling what the next crisis could be beyond this. But the U.S. is going to have a significantly curtailed ability to insulate itself from any future supply shocks with a strategic reserve that is approaching the lowest level since it was filled up.
The numbers are approaching the low point of Joe Biden's presidency, when his administration tapped into the reserves after Russia invaded Ukraine and sent gas prices soaring. The decision became an attack point for Republicans, including when President Trump announced his bid for another run at the White House in 2022.
Now that the strategic national reserves, which I filled up, have been virtually drained in order to keep gasoline prices lower just prior to the election.
Analysts believe that tapping the reserves for the Iran war prevented oil prices from reaching $150 a barrel. But as supplies dwindle, problems mount, and Americans are still frustrated that gasoline prices are up overall. Reserves can't be tapped forever, with the Trump administration continually promising price relief is coming.
They're much lower here than elsewhere, but we want them lower everywhere, and we certainly want them lower in the United States, and those days are coming.
The latest agreement to draw down oil reserves was structured as an exchange, according to the Energy Department. Basically an oil loan that's expected to be paid back by companies with even more oil than what's being released at a later date in 2027. Reporting in Washington, I'm Matt Gelka.
Fun stuff. I told you the sky is falling, according to the news. The nudes. Alright, let me see what these yahoos are saying. They claim that the oil reserves are about a week away from being the lowest they've been since 1983. Now, I went and looked it up because they just about depleted our oil reserves when old man Walter was crapping his pants in the White House, so I wanted to know what was the difference. Now, they're saying that our current oil reserves are holding about 365 million barrels. Now, when old man Walter was in office and he was crapping things up, they were at 347 million barrels. And that was mid-2023 when they were at the lowest point under Biden. So it's a difference of 18 barrels, and right now we're in the lead. Like, we're above that. Old man Walter was 18 barrels lower than where we are right now when he was at the lowest point of stinking up the White House. It's not good, but where was all the fear-mongering when old man Walter was doing this? Because they weren't talking like this. They would briefly mention that the oil reserves are getting low. They're getting low. That's all they would say. They weren't like, oh my God, what are we going to do? It's only when Trump's doing things. And like I said, that doesn't excuse it. That doesn't mean that it's great that the oil reserves are low. But for some reason, they weren't doing the fear-mongering when it was old man Walter. Either way, moving forward here, next up, John Bolton to plead guilty. He got a plea deal. Now, they say that
John
President Trump doesn't like this guy. I don't really know anything about him. All I know is he got a deal. Make sure you hit that like button. Let's get into this.
John Bolton, the national security advisor in the first Trump White House, he's going to be pleading guilty in federal court to the retention of classified information. So what Bolton was accused of back last fall when he was first charged in federal court in Maryland, he was facing allegations that 18 different types of classified information or records were in his possession or that he transmitted, sent to people illegally. Now there's a deal in the case to end it with his conviction. That means that he will be pleading guilty to just one count of retaining that classified information. What the Justice Department says and what we're learning about this is that it's around the allegations that he was copying down information that he was learning in the Trump White House and then sending it to himself. But that information, it was just kept in diary-like forms. It wasn't the actual documents that are going to form this plea agreement for him. But it is still a significant charge for John Bolton, a felony count, and also a significant moment for the Trump Justice Department. Donald Trump has very much disliked John Bolton for a long time, since he was fired from the Trump White House, since he published a tell-all memoir about Donald Trump and how he was handling national security in his first term as president. So Bolton has been someone that the Justice Department wanted to see convicted and that the White House also wanted to see convicted. There's going to be a hearing at the end of June where Bolton will be able to formally enter that plea, and then after that, a judge will determine his sentence.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll see. Like I said, I don't really know much about Bolton and all of that. All I know is he got a deal. And it kind of seems like nobody likes this guy. I've seen some videos, I don't remember where it was, maybe on X, and it seemed like liberals weren't pleased with him because he got a deal. But then I've also seen comments from Republicans that kind of feel the same way, and then they mentioned that President Trump doesn't like him. So it seems like nobody likes this guy. But either way, he's pleading guilty to one count of illegal retention of classified information. He was originally indicted on 18 felony counts, but he only pled guilty to the one. In his deal, it says he's facing a fine of $2.25 million, which is sort of like having us foot the bill since we've been paying his bills for however long. And he is facing a potential prison sentence of 5 years in prison, which we know that's not going to happen. It also says that in his plea deal that it's recommending no jail time. So kind of a doubly. Sure enough, he's not going to prison, but whatever's whatever. Next up, Virginia congressman introduces a bill to stop the triumphal arch or arc or whatever it is. But this is a doubly. In the first video, they're going to be crying really hard about President Trump trying to build this new deal here. And then in the second video, President Trump announcing 2 D.C. projects along the adjustments of the Lincoln Memorial. All of that's coming up next. But first, we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about John Bolton, as well as the oil reserve being depleted. We got about a week, and they'll be depleted. 10-man, charge him with treason, sentence him to death. Fuck him. Well, it's interesting the way they describe all of that, because I watched like 3 or 4 videos to try and figure out what exactly he did. Now, when they raided his house, they showed them like carrying boxes of what was assumed as classified information. But his plea deal is suggesting, like from what they've said in this court case, is that he was writing things down. He was learning like classified information and was writing it in a digital diary or some shit, and then sending these digital documents to himself, like emailing these documents to himself. And it seems like that's all they were able to prove, that those boxes of documents didn't mean shit. What they got him on is he was sending himself emails that had classified information on it, and that's it. So they're giving him this, but like I said, I don't know a lot about him, who he's tied to, the kind of favors he can get. I don't know much about it, but it seems like they were making a big scary story about him, and now all of a sudden they got him on sending sensitive emails basically to himself. Wrench, it's all about midterms and power for the Dems. Yeah, that's what I figured. A bunch of theater for voting. Guess I can't say stuff like that until Saturday. Just boob do 'em. was funny is other hooligans were noticing that was Mrs. Doubtfire reporting there. Zero Bolton needs to have a KFC bucket inserted onto every single picture. I didn't really notice it until you said that. He does look like Colonel Sanders. Wrench, I blame Obama. Mm-hmm. What's up, Pickles? Happy freedom to you. Tool Carry sending himself wiener pics. You know that's what he was doing. That's exactly what he was doing. Fed boys saw that and they were like, we got to charge this guy. We can't let anybody else see this. What's up, Magic Moon? Happy freedom to you. The servers also had copies of the documents. Yeah. Sharing classified information, more or less. Jesse, how about Israel and America merging military? I haven't heard anything about that. What's up, Peyton? Happy freedom to you. Trickster, gonna try and get my ass into the Carmelo Anthony trial tomorrow morning. If I can, may do first live action from outside. That would be very interesting, Trickster. You gotta be safe out there, though. They're acting like a bunch of assholes from what I understand. Let's see, Peyton, do you all realize that Bolton and all of them crooks are already arrested, some executed? We just have to wait for the slow people in class to catch up. Let's see, because when we go one, we go all. It could be. It could be. We'll see. We'll see how it all goes. Major, don't look at bro's tits. That's what I was trying to tell Guess Some. That's exactly what I was trying to tell Guess Some. He was like, they're huge. I was like, they may be strapped onto a man. We have not figured it out yet. Picture Dad Swamp Rat. Is that who he is? No jail time? Yeah, Trickster. They don't ever go to jail. What's up, Anger? Happy freedom to you. Peyton the Walrus. I didn't know you guys all had nicknames and stuff for him. I feel left behind. Peyton, Michigan was nice and warm today. Tomorrow's rain. It's going to rain here tomorrow? I'm sitting here sweating my ass off. It's hot as hell in here. It's like 83 in here. Jesse, weren't we just gifted millions of barrels? You mean from... Fuck. Where was it? Not Venezuela. No, not Venezuela. I can't. I'll look into it. I'll Google it here in a second when we run this next video. I don't know why I can't think of the country I'm trying to think of. Jesse, it's disgusting is what it is. Treasonous at the least. Yeah, they never give these guys treason. Kevin. I will send you a link, Kevin. I'll send you a link for it. What's up, Larry? Happy freedom to you. Did everything go well, Larry? We heard the news like right at the end of the live yesterday. What's up, Blue Crow? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Rhyme Time? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Sean T? Happy freedom. What's up, Smelly? Happy freedom to you. Smelly, we export all of our gas pretty much. Well, we export our... Well, yeah, we are exporting gas right now, but generally we're exporting oil so it can be refined, I guess. I don't know. We needed that stuff here at home. Sonic should have worn a tank top. I need to make enough money to buy more tank tops. Culty, I can't free the tits here. What's up, Jimmy? Happy freedom to you. John Bolton was a warmonger to the max. He didn't just use... Hold on, let me read ahead here. Jimmy, that's hilarious. I could probably say this in front of everybody. He didn't just use a strap-on thinking about war. He used a bolt-on. Very nice, Jimmy. Very nice. Happy freedom to you. Make sure we get everybody. We're moving forward here. Sweating. I'm melting right here. All right, like I said, Virginia congressman introduces a bill to stop the triumphal, I think it's arch, or it's arc, right? That's what it is, the triumphal arc. I keep wanting to say arch. Either way, they're really mad that he's building that, and they want to stop it. They're willing to pass legislation to make it happen. And this is a doubly. The second video, President Trump announces 2 new DC projects, along with adjustments to the Lincoln Memorial. Now, before we get into this, I want to remind you, hooligans, really quick, if you'd like to participate in Free Speech Saturday, make sure you post all of your memes over on Discord or jeffmaclive.com. Just hop in the group chats on either platform. You'll see the tabs labeled memes. Drop what you got and we'll shout you out as we're making Saturdays more fun. Let's get this pulled up. We got this nice little doubly here. Now, I spared you guys the crying. They had some people that they claim were veterans on here, and this one guy was talking about, how he lost his brothers at war and all the kind of stuff, but he had Ukraine flags, pins, and shit on his jacket, and he was talking about President Trump being a mean orange man. I was like, we don't need to watch that today. So I spared you guys. You're welcome. This first video, Virginia congressman introduces bill to stop the triumphal crotch. I don't know what it is. Either way, hit that like button. Let's get into this.
A local congressman has introduced new legislation to block President Trump's plan for a triumphal arch in Arlington.
For months now, the president has promoted building this massive arch between the Lincoln Memorial and Arlington National Cemetery, and the project has already cleared some key approval hurdles.
But as Northern Virginia Bureau reporter Drew Wilder reports, the fight isn't over, and one congressman says the fight is personal for his family.
That's Lady Liberty. Did you ever hear of Lady Liberty?
One of the president's latest passion projects is getting new pushback from congressional Democrats. Virginia Democrat Don Beyer is co-sponsoring a bill to block Trump's proposed triumphal arch that would stand 250 feet tall between Arlington National Cemetery and the Memorial Bridge.
Everybody I've talked to in Virginia and in D.C. is horrified by it, partly because it's so tasteless. It begins with reverence for the people that are buried here,
including several members of Beyer's own family. Beyer's grandparents, parents, and sister are all buried in Arlington. Beyer says the administration can't build on this land that would block the National Cemetery's view of the Lincoln Memorial. There's also a fight over whether Trump can use taxpayer dollars to fund or even partially fund the arch. The administration hasn't offered a cost estimate.
You need Congress to sign off on it.
No, we don't. No, we're doing it. It's the land is owned by the Interior Department. We don't need anything from Congress.
The president doesn't think that he needs congressional approval to spend money on this project. You disagree?
I do. There was a commemorative act this past 30, 40 years ago that specifically said nothing could be built on this land without Congress's support.
Beyer's bill has nearly 36 Democrats on board, and he believes he'll get some Republican support when representatives return to Washington later this week. But the president's design has already cleared final approval by the Commission of Fine Arts, a group packed with Trump appointees.
It's such a glaring, almost tribute to his own ego. It doesn't memorialize anything.
Reporting in Arlington, Drew Wilder, News 4.
The National Capital Planning Commission is a separate federal agency that approves construction on federal land that still has to approve that project. The project is on the agenda at its June meeting.
Okay. Whatever's whatever. They're real mad. They're willing to pass legislation for it. We're going to get right into this next video of this doubly. President Trump announcing 2 new D.C. projects along with adjustments to the Lincoln Memorial. And I think he briefly talks about the triumphal arch. But he's got more things he's going to change that's going to make all the Democrats mad, and they're going to bitch about the law and all this stuff, even though they don't follow the law, which is what makes it so ridiculous. That's all right. Hit that like button, and let's get this rolling.
Perhaps slightly less importantly, but I think very important, the National Garden of American Heroes is going to be unbelievable. And I'd like to know how are you doing on that, and how are you doing on the great triumphal arch. So every city, just about every major city, has a triumphal arch. This is an arch that's a real bow, a beautiful bow to your military and military victories. Nobody's had more military victories, including recently, than we have. And they never got the arch built. It's been, the Civil War stopped it. That circle has been sitting there for a long time, for many, many years. And, I guess you could go back to In 1902, they tried it, but in 1860 and 1880, they just never got it done. The Civil War stopped it the first time. That was a good reason. I think that's probably not a bad, that was a good excuse. But after that, it just never happened, and we're going to get it done. And so we're doing it with the Department of Interior, and we're also doing the National Garden of American Heroes, which is phenomenal. And we're doing something that just came up. We'll have a little breaking news here because nobody's heard of it, but at the Lincoln Memorial, the front was supposed to be the back was supposed to be the front. It never got built because they built 2 roadways behind it after it was built, and it shut off the gateway to the water. That was really going to be the main entry, and we're going to be doing that. It's called the Promenade. The Promenade. They want to call it the Trump Promenade, but I don't know if I want to do that. But it's going to be beautiful. It's a beautiful project, and it's going to take the Lincoln Memorial right down to the Potomac, which it was always scheduled to do. But when they built the roads, that was the end of that. But we have a way of beautifully going over those 2 roads, highways, very, very strong, very important roads, actually, as you know, from the bridge. But it's going to be great. So can I ask, for just a couple of seconds to talk about those?
All right, so then he's going to have that guy just basically start kissing his ass, and we'll just skip all of that. That's the only thing I don't like about covering those short lives there where President Trump's signing an executive order or he's doing whatever, and he's got a bunch of people behind him because they all just take turns stepping forward and kissing his ass. And, like, it's fine, but we got other shit to do today. So anyways, in the first video, Virginia Congressman Dan Bayer, Don Bayer, introduces the Arlington National Cemetery Viewship Protection Act to block President Trump's proposed 250-foot triumphal arch near Arlington National Cemetery. It's co-sponsored by more than 30 Democrats. It would prohibit federal funding and construction of the arch, arguing it violates the Commemorative Works Act and lacks necessary congressional approval. In the second video, President Trump says that he's going to be building the National Garden of American Heroes, which is a proposed sculpture garden. He says that they're going to be adding on to the Lincoln Memorial, and it's called the Promenade or Promenade. I'm not sure how you say that. But either way, it's connecting the Lincoln Memorial to the Potomac River. So if they don't like the changes he's already made, they're not going to like that. Next up, Utah governor faces pushback from the flamboyant community for declaring June Fidelity Month. They can cry really hard because nobody gives a shit. It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about them trying to pass, some legislation here because they don't like President Trump's triumphal arch, as well as President Trump making 2 more projects they can sue about. Hopping in the chat. Snooks. What, the triumphal arch? Yeah, no matter how I say it, I'm going to say it wrong, so it's fine. It's fine. It will go however it needs to go. Move my light here. There we go. Wrench, if he blocks the statue of Lincoln, a white let me read the rest of this. Well, I'm not going to be able to read that in front of everybody, but you're right, Wrench. You are right. Saudi Arabia should sign an executive order that gives Jeff a new Subaru. That's what I'm saying. I've actually been looking at cars for the last 2 days because I think it's going to cost too much to fix a Subaru. And the selection sucks. The selection sucks. I seen a 2000 Toyota Camry. It's got like 250,000 miles on it. They only want $7,500 for it. That's it. It's a 26-year-old car. It's over halfway through its life on its best day. But yeah, $7,500 for it that I don't fucking have. It's like, I don't know. It sucks. I'm trying not to think about my car. My car is making this awful sound. A plethora of sounds, honestly. Snooks a promenade. I don't know. I don't even know what that is. Sounds a little flamboyant. What's up, Larry? Thank you for joining us over here on the website. 10 minutes too much. I know. All the cars are too expensive up here. And then they want a lot of money. They want $2,000 to replace the transmission in my car. And I think the axle's about to go out. The wheel bearing needs to be replaced. And I want to say there's something else that needs to be replaced too. And it's like $5,000 worth of repairs that need to be done. And I can't afford that. So whatever's whatever. There's nothing I can do about it. Zero. People we may think of as traitors but sacrifice their reputations for the greater good of America. I don't know. I don't know anything about Capitol Hill. I just try to be entertained by it. Yeah, I appreciate you being with us, Colty. Enjoy the rest of your night. Snooks, now I can't pull the tits out while I'm live. It's just unprofessional. What's up, Shane? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Bill Clay? Happy freedom to you. Bill Clay, all these problems on a Subaru? It's because they abused my damn Subaru. I wish I could have bought one off the lot back in 2009. It would have been fantastic, but I just bought it from a chop shop, basically. Trickster traded to Carvana. Might have to. We'll see. Elder Zoomer. Jeff needs an El Camino. I'd drive an El Camino. It'd probably run like shit, though. Michigan is so hard on cars. Trickster, you got a 2025 Forester for sale? I'm too poor. Elder Zoomer, get an old car. They're way easier to work on. I can't afford shit. I can't afford shit. I seen a 1989 Nissan, and they wanted five and a half for it. They want $5,500 for it. I'm like, the car is as old as I am. It had no headlights, no taillights in it. I'm not sure that it even ran. And I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know who comes up with these prices. They're awful. What's up, Angry God? Happy freedom to you. What's up, guess who? Happy freedom to you. I am sweating to death. Jesse, I do music, yes. I have a bachelor's degree in music production and audio engineering. Are you Googling me, Jesse? I'm flattered. I've never had anybody just say that to my face. I'm getting Googled right now. This is nice. Should I take my pants off? Thank you so much, Patriot Dad, for the $5 over on Rumble. Really appreciate you, Patriot Dad. Thank you so much for the support. It says, I want Trump on Mount Rushmore. That's right, Patriot Dad. That's probably next. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate you, Patriot Dad. You're a badass. Jimmy, what are you cooking? I'm starving. Guess who Jeff now updates his wiki? I'm banned from Wikipedia. I tried to write my own bio and they banned me because apparently you're not allowed to do that. I actually asked you guys on the live to go write the wiki for me, but none of you ever did. That was like years ago. What's up, Chris? Happy freedom to you. Guess who? Klaus has to be working them streets harder. He needs to be pushing that catnip product. I know. I got him out there right now. Showing those cat toes for doll hairs, all that. Appeal to Evan. Yeah, I know. I've used Auto Trader and Car Guru. The cars are just expensive in Michigan. It's expensive and shitty at the same time. Jimmy, homemade chicken parmesan sounds fantastic. Chris, yeah, we'll get to that story. It's a dusty illegal. What's up, bullshiz? Happy freedom to you. Jesse, trying to get to the website? I will give you the link. I got to get Kevin a link as well. Just trying to include everybody in the chat. Jesse, it's okay if you're a weirdo. It's part of the requirements. Guess who? Klaus got the baking soda? No. He's only got the good stuff. Zero Jeff said doo-doo. I know. I tried to avoid it and I couldn't. I wasn't able to. The doo-doo. Here, Juicer, yeah, I've been looking at Accords and stuff. The other problem I have is how far away some of these cars are. Like there's a Toyota, what are they called? Something Liner. I don't know. It's an SUV. It's a something Liner. I can't think what the fuck it's called right now. But there's one like 3 hours away from me that looks okay and I could maybe afford it. I don't have anybody to drive me 3 hours, to go look at a car though. Multifaceted issues. Did you make those doll hairs or what, Klaus Daniels? You slinging them toes? Is your face messed up? I accidentally kicked him in the face. I didn't mean to do that, but I had to pee and I went to get up and he wouldn't get out of the way. And I don't know if you've seen him, but he's gigantic. And I accidentally kicked him right in the face. I did, but he's okay. Aren't you? Yeah, you're a good baby. Alright, Hooligans, moving forward here. Like I said, Utah governor facing backlash from the flamboyant community after declaring June Fidelity Month. Oh well, let them cry. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I'm not that invested in this though. Come on, load up. We ain't got all day, damn it. Hit that like button if you got one. Let's get into this.
Governor Cox officially declaring June Fidelity Month here in Utah, saying it's fitting to observe 1 month each year to rededicate the United States to its core values.
But the declaration was met with some backlash today, with many questioning why June, which also serves as Pride Month for the LGBTQ community.
Liv Kelleher joins us from the Utah State Capitol tonight. So how are people reacting?
Well, Heidi, I spoke to dozens of people today, most of whom do not want to go on camera. But some people do believe that celebrating family values is a good thing, while others question the timing. The governor defines Fidelity as a dedication to faith, family, and country.
I have no problem with any of the principles that are being acknowledged or celebrated by that proclamation. It's the optics and the timing that just I can't get okay with.
State Senator Jen Plum said June is widely celebrated as Pride Month, and she views this declaration as an attempt to replace that.
I really do think that when you were speaking of those things, those are perfect July. That would fit right in with the celebrations that we're already having with July 4th and with our coming up of our 250th anniversary celebrations.
I reached out to the governor's office to ask if he considered the optics of doing this during Pride Month. I also reached out to the Senate Majority Caucus for comment, but did not hear back. Utah joins several other states that have issued June proclamations recognizing Nuclear Family Month, Strong Families Month, Fidelity Month, or Month for Life. Several LGBTQ organizations across the state have pushed back, including Pride of Southern Utah Executive Director Cole Rasmussen.
It does, again, feels like putting blame on a small minority of people as the ones being declared, the ones who must be driving our country away from patriotism, faith, morality, family.
Senator Mike Lee first endorsed Fidelity Month in 2025, saying that this recognizes, quote, the national strife resulting from declining traditional values, and that loving families and faithful marriages must be a guiding star for our society. Now, again, I spoke with dozens of people across Salt Lake, many of whom were first hearing this from me. There was a variety of opinions, but my main takeaway was people are nervous to talk about it and are concerned that this declaration could sow more division. Reporting live in Salt Lake, Liv Kelleher, KUTV 2 News.
Okay. Crying real hard. Real hard. There's a ton of those videos talking about this nonsense. They're saying the Utah governor, Spencer Cox, big Spencer Cox, declared June Fidelity Month, defining fidelity, if I could talk, Jesus loves us, defining fidelity as dedication to faith, family, and country, and citing a decline in traditional American values. Sparked backlash from these flamboyant individuals as well as Democrat leaders who view the move as an attempt to replace or diminish Pride Month. However, having Fidelity Month does not undo recognizing Pride Month, so they should go cry in the closet. Like they should go do the thing. It's not that big of a deal. Stupid. They want to have the month all to themselves. They should fight for it. Either way. Next up, midlife break or funny video halfway through. today. It was provided by Gingerfire, and it's titled Peak Male Insecurity. It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about the flamboyant individuals being mad that they got to share their month with another group of individuals that have their own beliefs and wants and likes and stuff. Snooks. It's probably just about healed. It just sucked when I bit it because I sliced it down the side. It was awful. But I had my tongue pierced twice, so I figured it'd heal. It'd be alright. Zero, veterans only get 2 days a year. Fuck these assholes. Yeah. Well, that's why I think it's stupid that they already got their little celebration thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's already Pride Month. So why do they care if they got to share it with other people? It doesn't undo what they're doing. You know, like if they don't want to celebrate Fidelity Month, nobody's making them. The same way as if we don't want to celebrate Pride Month, nobody's going to make us. So I'm sorry that they don't understand being an American, but that's on them. Yeah, Ghostly. Absolutely. That's what I'm seeing too. Hair Juicer Pride Fest is right next to our free kids water park this year. Gross. I'm sure that was done strategically. Salt Ragu, well, you know what you're gonna have to do. Snooks Claus is gonna have cat mirrors. He could have moved. He didn't have to just stand in the way. He's okay. He's fine. He took it like a champ. Swift little kick in the face. Zero, yeah. Absolutely they are. No worries, Jesse. I told you I'd give you the link. Bullshit, I just don't understand why we need an entire month dedicated to being alphabet soup. Isn't June Men's Mental Health Awareness Month? Yeah, it is. But that's what I mean. Like, they're already sharing the month with other celebrations or awareness or whatever you want to call this stuff, but they want to be mad at Fidelity Month. They're just mad for the sake of being mad. Oh, I see Rumblebot's working today. That's nice. Rumblebot was missing in action yesterday. Jimmy, if you have to have a month dedicated to your sexual preference, you are a mentally ill person. You're right, Jimmy. You're right. I'm still waiting for them to make a hooligan month. They haven't yet. So until they do, fuck this nonsense. Trickster, it's MAGA month. It's a busy month in June. Uphill to heaven. Yeah, I'll send you the information. It's hard to find cars up here, though. I mean, you can find them, but they're not worth anything. A lot of this I can't read out loud. Elder Zoomer, it's Dinosaur Month. Hell yeah. See, I told you, June is busy. Boiling Point, thank you so much for raiding us over on Rumble. You're a badass. Let me grab your link really quick. I'm going to drop it in the chats. You guys need to go follow Boiling Point. If I could think. Here we go. There we go. Thank you so much for the raid, Boiling Point. Thank you so much for the raid. Really appreciate it, Boiling Point. Welcome, Raiders. Hit that like button on your way in, and you hooligans go follow Boiling Point. Reading through the chat really quick. Next up, we got our midlife break. Like I said, reading through the chat. Snooks. How did you kiss with a pierced tongue? What do you mean? You don't need one to have to do the other. What's up, Jason? Happy freedom to you. Guess who? The Oscar Mayer hot dog mobile? As long as it runs, you know? Happy freedom to you, Boiling Point. Thank you for the raid. Done. Had my tongue pierced since I was 18. 22 years. Never had a problem kissing. Yeah. I had my tongue pierced, but I pierced it sideways. It was at an angle, and I'd knock it against my teeth and start passing out because of the nerves or the veins in your tongue. So it was making me pass out. So they made me take it out and then come back like a month later to get it pierced again. And then like 2 weeks after that, I got locked up, and they make you take your jewelry out when you get locked up, and that was that. That was that. Bullshit is Jeff's dream car. Not exactly. A running vehicle would be nice at this point, though. Appeal to heaven. Oh, I can write you the notes here in a little bit. Salty ginger. I don't know about it. Wiki. Let's see. I must not have met your channel yet. I don't think it lets me add anything, though. I don't know much about Wikipedia. I tried to write my own little bio thing, and they banned me. They said that you're not allowed to write about yourself. So I don't know. That was all I ever tried to do with Wikipedia, so I don't know anything else about it. What's up, Bullseye? What's up, Alexa? Happy freedom to you. Bullseye, buy a Chevy. I'm driving a Nissan right now. And when it comes to repairs, I miss my Chevy. Get an Impala or something like that. See how the Impalas and the Equinox up here, they're awful. They're rusted out. They got 300,000 miles on them. They're ran into the ground. I want either a Subaru, a Toyota, or a Chevy, or a Honda. But I gotta find something that's not a total piece of shit. Which would be easier if I had more doll hairs. But, you know, here we are. I'm trying to find this comment. So Larry's just got out of surgery. I don't know if it was today or yesterday, but he just got out of surgery, and he's got the brand new kidney, and it's working. So huge shout out to Larry. It's so badass. After all this time of us talking about it, he actually got the surgery, and he's doing well. He's at the hospital right now. He's been kind of in and out of the chat. That's so badass to hear that he's doing well. So I also want to give a huge shout out to all the hooligans that have been praying for Larry. Because it's been like months. We've been talking about it. And he got the thing. He did the thing. What's up, Slampire? Happy freedom to you. I am sweating my ass off. What's up, Sparkling One? Happy freedom to you. Zeros this morning. It's awesome. Salty Ragu, why do I have this scar on my stomach? We gotta raise money for the new Subaru, Salty Ragu. Sacrifices had to be made. What's up, Kicks? Happy freedom to you. Boiling Point. I used to be the guy to go to for the piercings. Then the nose ring started to become an identifier. Yeah, I had my septum pierced. I've had so many piercings. I've had lots of piercings. Now I just wear earrings, which I don't even have earrings in right now. Shane, what are you talking about? Oh, you're talking about fluoride? Yeah. They say it's good for you. That's why they put it in the water. It's so good. Trust the science. All right, hooligans, moving forward here. Like I said, next up we got our midlife break. It's our funny video halfway through.
Is it check?
Today it was provided by Gingerfire. It's titled Peak Male Insecurity.
He said, check this guy out. Okay, Grant the barber. All right, let's see this.
Whatever hides this, I'm good with.
Why do you want me to look at this? Why do you want me to watch this, man?
I can make it look better. I mean, I'm game for it.
Just want me to fix or at least cover it up a little bit.
Make it look where it's,
Yeah.
I guess it's not noticeable.
Like you're not bald,
normally
right?
I just wear a hat. My self-conscience.
Uh-huh.
I just...
Since you have so much weight on the sides here,
Yeah.
you see how it's like kind of poofed out?
Yeah.
That's why I
That
got...
makes you directly focus on this. So if
Yeah.
you take some weight off the sides,
You gotta
kind
put
of
up the front,
throw it
right?
all
Yeah.
forward, then it'll look lighter and like not as thin. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, would you be open to like a skin fade all the way around?
Yeah, I like my long hair, but I mean, if I have to get rid of it to get rid of this look, there's nothing I can do about it. But
It depends on whichever one you want to do. It's up to you. If you're really attached to the back, we could try a mullet. That would bring it in just a little bit more.
my self-conscience, like whatever one you think will look best.
Okay.
I'm good with.
Okay, what do you think about doing to the beard?
I wouldn't even know. That's
bit?
how I always do it. I mean,
Just line it up, make it look crispy.
Game.
So skin fade on the side, sew the bangs forward, trim up the beard. Everything sound good?
Yep.
Let's get you back in the game. You ready for this transformation?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do it.
Bro, really? Wait, what? Yo, what the... God, wow. What the fuck is that? It's wizardry? That is wild. He said, check this guy out. Okay,
No, that's fucking sissy shit. Just shave it off. Holy. So stupid. That's makeup for men. Anyways, getting back into the news here. Carmelo Anthony murder trial. Jury seated after prosecutors remove 3 potential black jurors. Now, that is going to carry with this whole trial. Because even when I Googled it to find details, they were like, it's an all-white panel. Because there was black jurors, but they were removed for this, that, or the other, and whatever. So I think that they're staging this to be like a mistrial or something like that. Either way, we got a doubly about the Carmelo Anthony trial. But before we get into this, I want to remind you, hooligans, really quick, if you'd like to join the membership program over on Rumble and become an official hooligan, all you have to do is click that big red subscribe button right below where you type in the chat. Now, if you're on Android and using the Rumble app, you're unable to see that big red subscribe button. So you got to open a browser, go to rumble.com, come to the live, hop in the chat, and like I said, right below where you type in the chat, you will see that big red subscribe button. Click that button and jump through the hoops, and your name will be highlighted as an official Rumble hooligan. You'll have access to our custom emojis. We have chapstick emojis, scream and goat emojis, Klaus Daniels emojis, President Trump emojis, and more. It's a lot of fun during the live, especially during a Trump live. So definitely go join the membership program over on Rumble. Let's get these doublies pulled up on this Carmelo Anthony trial. Like I said, I think that they are getting things ready for a mistrial or something like that, which will be an interesting turn of events. Come on, come on. I wish that they were live streaming the trial. I feel like they don't hardly live stream any of these trials anymore. It used to be really common. You used to be able to just kind of count on being able to watch them live, and now you can't. Once again, this first video, jury seated after prosecutors remove 3 potential black jurors. Hit that like button. Let's get into this.
Inside the Collin County Courthouse, the process of selecting the men and women who will fill these 12 seats in the courtroom of Judge John Roach continued behind closed doors. Carmelo Anthony appeared on a live camera feed, sitting at a table with his attorneys wearing a dark suit and tie, while his attorney, along with prosecutors, continued the work of finding a jury that would give him a fair trial. When prosecutors asked prospective jurors if media coverage of the case has led them to form opinions, several admitted that it had, with one replying, "I don't know if it's going to affect me, but I can't tell you those thoughts are not inside my head." Another prospective juror, who identified as an educator in Frisco ISD, where both the defendant and victim attended separate high schools, said this is close enough to home that I'm not confident that I could be completely fair. Potential jurors were also asked if the age of the 19-year-old defendant, who was 17 when authorities say he fatally stabbed 17-year-old Austin Metcalf at a track meet, would influence their judgment, as well as his race. One prospective juror, who prosecutors identified as African American, said he would have a hard time putting a brother in jail. Anthony's attorneys plan to argue that the defendant stabbed Metcalf, who was unarmed, in self-defense after an altercation. Prospective jurors were asked if they would hold it against Anthony if he didn't testify. One prospective juror said he would, saying silence is deafening. It matters. It's difficult to ignore. But a question from Anthony's attorney, Mike Howard, drew the ire of several prospective jurors when he asked them, "How do you feel about the country's immigration policies?" A number of them refused to answer, saying it was irrelevant. The prosecution argued that the 3 black prospective jurors are educators and were dismissed for that reason because their jobs are too similar to the circumstances surrounding this crime. Opening statements are scheduled for 9 a.m., and that's when we'll get our first look at the makeup of this jury. In McKinney, J.D. Miles, CBS News, Texas.
Okay, so that's how jury selection went, but they all went to court and did stuff today. So we're going to cover this next video to see how their first day in court went, and then we will hop in the chat. Let's get those likes up, hooligans, and let's get this rolling. You gotta pay extra for audio. Hold on a second here. There we go.
Right now, a jury is hearing testimony in the murder trial of Carmelo Anthony, a 19-year-old charged in the deadly stabbing of a fellow teen at a Frisco track meet last year. Andrea Lucia joins us now live outside the Collin County Courthouse. Andrea.
In opening statements today, the prosecution said this case has nothing to do with race. But out here, it's been impossible to ignore the racial tensions it's ignited among protesters who gathered here at the courthouse throughout the day. Prosecutor Bill Werski did try to keep the focus on what he has described as the unprovoked, unjustified murder of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf. He began his case playing video from the day Metcalf died, breaking it down a few seconds at a time. It shows people gathered under a tent as rain was coming down during the Frisco ISD track meet. You can see them start pushing each other and then scattering quickly. Defense attorney Toby Shook argued the video doesn't show what happened or who started the argument that day. The prosecution, though, has promised the jury they will hear from eyewitnesses, and it's denied any claim that this was an act of self-defense. In its opening statement, the defense, meanwhile, introduced us to Carmelo Anthony, describing him as an A student who was holding down 2 jobs while also serving as captain of the high school football team. It claims that he went into that tent to get out of the rain and that it was the victim, Metcalf, who started the argument. Karen.
So, Andrea, with all of the attention this case is getting, can you talk about the security at the courthouse and what it's been like outside today?
Yeah, I mean, the security has clearly been heightened. We've been seeing Collin County Sheriff deputies wandering around the parking lot here outside the courthouse. There was a moment earlier in the afternoon where some of the protesters clashed. There was a yelling match that broke out, and almost immediately we saw 4 sheriff deputies' vehicles descend and law enforcement get out, try to separate out the 2 sides. Fortunately, though, it never seems like that argument turned physical in any way.
All right, this is day 1. We'll have to see what happens on day 2 as well. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. You such sweet boy. I know. So they're saying in this first video, describing how jury selection went, some jurors were removed from admitting bias. Anthony's attorney asked the jury how they felt about the country's immigration policy, which most jurors refused to answer because it should be irrelevant. But of course, the attorney, like I said, they are trying to stage this for a mistrial before it even begins. When I looked it up on the internet to fill in the blanks, they're saying a 12-person jury with 6 alternatives was seated for the murder trial of Carmelo Anthony, resulting in an all-white panel after prosecutors used preemptory strikes to remove the final 3 black prospective jurors. That's what Brave browser is saying. That's what the search shit is. The web search is saying that, meaning that that's how the normies are going to perceive this. So if this works against Carmelo Anthony, they're going to immediately cry racism. They're going to say this is bias. And like I said, the Anthony's attorney, the defense attorney, he asked all the jurors how they feel about immigration. This has nothing to do with immigration. So like I said, they're really staging this to make it about race and whatever, so they can say it's a mistrial. In the second video, jury hearing opening statements. They also watched a movie on their first day, describing everything that happened. But like they said in the video, you couldn't actually see what was happening. I don't know if it's security footage or what it is. But they say that Carmelo Anthony's a student with 2 jobs. He's captain of the football team. He's just a great guy all the way around. They say that he went under the tent to get out of the rain, and Metcalf started the confrontation because he was looking forward to being stabbed in the chest that day by a knife that nobody knew Carmelo Anthony had on his person on school grounds. But yeah, okay. Either way, next up, SoCal Tech CEO is accused of illegally supplying U.S. equipment to Iran. He was in a big-ass mansion that they raided. I don't know why he was making these dumb choices. And what makes it funny, and they don't really talk about this in the video, he was using eBay to get the job done. He was making like fake eBay accounts, acting as a third party to supply this equipment to Iran, which is hilarious. It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about these updates for the Carmelo Anthony trial. Yeah, I guess. Well, and I don't even know why they even list it. But the fact that the web searches are coming back saying, oh, it's an all-white panel, it's not good. Because it shouldn't even matter. I wouldn't even notice. If they'd have just showed the jurors, I wouldn't even notice that. They could have made it all Latino people. I don't know. I wouldn't have thought about it like that. But I guess it matters a lot. And that's what makes me think they're pushing for a mistrial. Tin Man, he'll just do it again if he gets off the hook? Probably. Zero, they'll claim mental illness? Oh yeah, for sure. Guess they left out his previous suspension for carrying a knife to school. Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see how this trial goes, because they're trying to describe it like he's a great boy and all this stuff. They're not even saying anything about the victim. And the thing is he's being tried. Carmelo Anthony's the one being tried, but the one, if you listen to these videos, they talk about it like he's the victim. Well, he's just a great guy. We don't even understand why he's going to court. You know, he's just a cool kid, does cool stuff. Like, they didn't say anything about the victim. Also, Metcalf's brother accepted his diploma for graduation. They did a thing for their graduation ceremony because Metcalf's brother is his twin, or what? I think it's his identical twin. So when the graduation ceremony happened, his twin brother accepted his diploma on his behalf because he's not with us anymore. But yeah, let's talk about Carmelo Anthony being such a great guy. Yeah, exactly, Tin Man. Guess make him all Asian and watch him sweat. How they gonna call racism with that? It was an all yellow jury panel. You guys. Snooks, yeah, that's what they're saying. He used eBay. The guy supplying Iran he was using eBay to do it. Brent's just banned those assault knives. Problem solved. That's what I'm saying. You gotta ban those assault track meats. Shane, get her a pink pistol. That's what the shapeshifters call it. It's not good. It's not good. Chris, they'll say that only racists don't like being stabbed to death. I know. That's where it's all going. What's up, Free the Texan? Happy freedom to you. Peeled Evan, he's of age now. Jail time. Yeah. He's definitely facing jail time. Big time. I think he's facing life in prison. For the Texan, Austin died in Hunter's arms. His brother's name is Hunter. I didn't know what his brother's name was. What's up, Sedan? Happy freedom to you. Trickster, oh no, mentally ill. BS. They allowed him to graduate. Yeah, but they're still going to claim it. They'll be like, you know how hard it is to be a senior? There's mental illness all over the place. Bill Clay, when you listen to the fools, the mob rules. Yep, that's what they got going on. Shane, we're living in mob rule. Yeah. It's going to be interesting covering more of this trial as the week goes on. Well, today's Thursday, so I don't know if they'll even be in tomorrow, but I'm sure I'll be going all next week. For the Gatex and BLM's been at the courthouse? Yeah. We covered a video yesterday, I think, about it. I think that was talking about out front. They were claiming they had white nationalists and what it looked like the Fed boys were out front. Shane, that's awesome. I'm going to have to check it out. I haven't been working on my game lately. I have another inspection coming up, so I've been trying to get ready for that. What's up, High Plains Drifter? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Right Mind? Happy freedom to you. I don't know what this Jules stuff is. I'm going to have to look into it, but I appreciate all of you hooligans doing that. What's up, MW? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Jeffrey Allen? Happy freedom to you. Jeffrey Allen, they supposedly outed themselves by making ignorant statements on the screening questionnaire. Yeah. Well, they blame the attorneys for it because they wrote the questions or whatever, but yeah, you're right. It's a bunch of gaslighting going on. That's the problem. What's up, Nick? Happy freedom to you. What's up, FW? Happy freedom to you. Guess you got no game. Yeah, I know. I know. That's why I'm single. I have no game. I got a big cat. A big ass cat. It's furry too. Full bush. Anyways, moving forward here. Like I said, SoCal Tech CEO accused of illegally supplying U.S. equipment to Iran, which is a dumb thing to do, especially right now. Can't they tell Fed boys are getting in everybody's business, busting fraud and all this? Bad time to be using eBay to try and commit crimes internationally. Either way, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
Where tonight an Orange County Tech CEO is behind bars facing charges in connection with a massive decade-long scheme to aid Iran's nuclear program. The U.S. Iranian national is accused of smuggling sophisticated U.S. technology to Iran.
KTLA's Chris Wolf is live outside the federal courthouse in Santa Ana with the latest. Chris?
Sharon, Micah, this case also includes allegations of money laundering and falsifying tax reports. Jamshid Gomi made his first appearance here in U.S. District Court today. He will spend the night in jail and then is scheduled for a bail hearing tomorrow afternoon. He was living the American dream, but his life may be turning into a nightmare. Federal agents descended on posh Newport Beach this Wednesday, specifically a stunning mansion, to arrest 63-year-old Jamshid Gomi, a man they say was secretly profiting from connections to terrorists using front companies. Acting U.S. Attorney General Todd Blanche explains the case, saying Jamshid Gomi, a dual U.S. Iranian citizen who lives in a $35 million mansion in Orange County, California, was arrested on a federal criminal complaint charging him with selling computer technology to Iranian companies and Iran's government, including technology to help with Iran's military and nuclear program. These allegations assert that the defendant violated U.S. sanctions against Iran, aided one of our nation's enemies, supported Iran's nuclear program, and got rich doing it. U.S. officials go on to say Gomi acquired sophisticated U.S. networking, security, and encryption equipment for Iranian customers, including the Iranian regime's nuclear and military establishments. Officials say our nation's laws prohibiting doing business with one of the world's largest state sponsors of terrorism must be enforced and obeyed. Jamshid Gomi faces up to 20 years in prison if convicted. His defense attorneys did not stop to talk with us today. Reporting live in Santa Ana, Chris Wolf, KTLA 5 News.
Chris, thank you.
His attorneys didn't want to talk to the news. Yeah, imagine that. This dumbass was living in a mansion. He made fake eBay accounts and was transferring equipment to Iran. And I don't know. And he was lying on tax documents. I don't think he was like super clever, like a super villain. I think the federal government just doesn't keep track of our doll hairs and shit like that, like we think they do. You know, like J.D. Vance is the head of this fraud committee now. And when they started it, they were saying, like, nobody's checking anything. People who are getting federal doll hairs and stuff, like, nobody's checking that. You got to go, like, way out of your way to get flagged on some shit because nobody's paying attention until now. Now they are paying attention, which is probably how this guy got busted. They're saying the 63-year-old man is accused of supplying U.S. equipment to Iran. He has dual citizenship between the U.S. and Iran. He was arrested for allegedly orchestrating a decade-long scheme to smuggle sophisticated U.S. networking and encryption equipment to Iran's military and nuclear programs. He faces charges of conspiracy to violate the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, or the IEEPA, and he's facing 20 years in prison. That doesn't mean he'll get 20 years. He's facing up to 20 years. They give him a day in jail, but it seems like this would be a big deal. I don't know. I guess it depends how much money he gives the courthouse. That'll determine the outcome. Either way, next up, we got an illegal border crosser with prior criminal history. He's accused of triple murder. He killed this woman, her mom, and her baby. Stabbed them all to death. Just for no reason, because they don't have a motive yet. Either way, it's coming up next. But first, we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about this piece of shit who's living in a $35 million hair mansion. Zero. The crap needs to stop. Dual citizenship. You're either an American or you're not. Well, yeah, I don't know. I just know that they shouldn't be holding office like Omar and them. But, yeah. I think it's ridiculous that this guy was able to go more than a decade doing this same kind of crap and nobody noticed. He's out here buying mansions and shit and nobody noticed. It just irritates the piss out of me. I've been in America my whole fucking life. I don't live in a mansion. Like, how does this guy get in here, start doing this shit, and all of a sudden live in a mansion and nobody thinks that's, you know, strange? Guess some can't call it a mansion. Let's see. If a woman owns it in California, that's a I don't even know what that is. A she-shin. Like a she-shack. I don't know why, but she-shacks sounds gross to me. I don't know if you guys know what that is. It's kind of like a man cave for women. They call it a she-shack. But it sounds like that's where they go to, like, manicure their clam. I don't know. It sounds gross to me. Jimmy, USAID was funding every leftist candidate in every country in the Western Hemisphere. Obviously, no one was watching our money. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the USAID was a big thing, and now they don't even talk about it. Pickles Gitmo. That's right. Chris, Camp Justice awaits him. Well, it'll be interesting to see how they handle this situation. Chris will end up in military court. You think so? Elder Zoomer, 20 years for treason? That's not the punishment. That's what I mean. They never charged these guys with treason. There was an elected official we just covered not that long ago. There's two, actually, that we covered. One was in California that they had a website that was promoting like Chinese propaganda or something. It was some foreign country's propaganda. I can't remember what country it was. I think it was China, but I might be wrong. And then there was another guy that was an elected official, and he was going to Venezuela, I think. He was going somewhere, and he was working with their government, giving them U.S. intelligence. And I don't remember what it was for. It wasn't military stuff, but he was giving them U.S. information about something. And he got like 10 years, or he's facing 10 years, or so. I think he's facing 10 years, which means he has, he may not even get the 10 years. And it seems like these are really big crimes, but they don't treat it like it's a big crime. There's people who are doing more time for growing weed and shit. Sedan, 20 years isn't enough? Yeah. Guess who? Fancy home. Yeah, exactly. Picture dad, I feel you. It's hard to meet a good woman. It is. Especially when you sit at your house all damn day with a giant cat, It's hard to meet new people when you're doing that. And now I know too much. Meeting women, you're like, how do you feel about the government? I'm like, stupid. What's up, Kicks? Happy freedom to you. Not cure their clam. That's what they got to do in Portland. Psydog, I don't know. I will look. I was not informed about Trump being live later, but that don't mean much of anything. He could be. Oh, they changed the profile picture for the White House. The White House isn't live. So, I don't think Trump is live. Ranch, I like clams and tacos. Me too. Me too. Big fan. Hair juicer visiting the commie tube. Very nice. Meta, appreciate you being omnipresent. Alright, hooligans, moving forward here. Like I said, illegal border crosser with prior criminal history accused of triple murder. He knocked out this whole family tree, and they don't even know why. Before we get into this, I want to remind you, hooligans, really quick, you should go join jeffmaclive.com. Go set up your profile, create posts for Hooligans Alley, the forums, and the group chats. Plus, watching the live is a lot more fun with memes and gifts in the chat. There's tons of stuff to do and new things happening every day. Select a free membership to get started. Let me drop this link really quick, and we're going to move forward about this illegal. Now, like I mentioned earlier, I cannot figure out if the victims were Americans or not. And I know that doesn't normally jump up to the front of your brain when you hear a title like that, but I looked up the story to try and get more information, and I saw the names of the victims, and they were all Hispanic names, which good for them. But that made me wonder, was the whole family here illegally? And nobody knows. So I couldn't write in the title that an illegal killed Americans, because I don't know if these people are actually Americans. And I say that because I know you guys are going to ask. So now you know. Hit the like button. Let's get into this.
So California's deadly sanctuary state policies find themselves back in the spotlight this morning and effectively back on the ballot as the state moves closer to choosing its next governor.
So a previously deported illegal migrant whom ICE tried to have detained last year stands accused of wiping out 3 generations of a single family in a brutal killing spree. Newsmax crime correspondent Jason Matera has this disturbing story. Jason.
Yeah, Mark Schrager, this one is especially tough because one of the victims was an infant, just 2 weeks old. But this is what happens when progressive politics takes precedent over public safety.
It's very hard being here today, seeing the person who murdered our family. And I feel like it's just devastating.
And the person accused of murdering her family is Joaquin Escoto, a 28-year-old illegal alien from Mexico who was previously deported but who managed to sneak back into the country. Escoto appeared in a Modesto, California courtroom this week facing a slew of murder charges, along with special enhancement counts for purportedly using a knife in the attack. On May 28th, police say he fatally stabbed a 23-year-old woman, the woman's 54-year-old mother, and the woman's baby boy, whose name was Mateo. And it's not just that the alleged killer was in the country illegally. Now we're learning that, according to Homeland Security, ICE lodged a detainer against Escoto in 2025 after a DUI, but it was ignored by the San Joaquin County Jail. He was released back into the community instead. In fact, since January of this year, Homeland Security officials say that California has released more than 4,500 criminal illegal aliens from custody who had ICE detainers lodged against them, including individuals accused of homicide, assault, and sex crimes. That's more than 4,500 people with criminal records potentially walking around California streets today who have no business even being in the country, like Joaquin Escoto, who will now stand trial for allegedly slaughtering 3 generations of one family in a single morning, leaving relatives grieving a loss that never had to happen.
He cut her wings. She had a whole life in front of her. She had goals, she had dreams.
And it's not just that more than 4,500 criminal illegal aliens may now be roaming California freely because ICE detainers weren't lodged. According to Homeland Security, there are more than 33,000 illegal aliens currently in custody across California jurisdictions who also have ICE detainers on them. 33,000. So, Mark Charlotte, something for voters to consider as they pick their next governor and whether the state's sanctuary policy will remain untouched.
You know, the number that stands out to me in the graphic you showed is the 31 who are being held on suspicion of committing murder in California, and that those 31 murderers are now roaming free. And then you saw what just happened there to that family. Just horrible. Jason, thank you.
Information. All right. What a piece of shit. So they're saying this 28-year-old illegal from Mexico is accused of stabbing and killing a 23-year-old woman, her 54-year-old mother, and her baby. He was deported at one point, but he broke back into the U.S., I assume under Biden, but there's no record of that. I couldn't find any information on when he came back. ICE was trying to detain him in 2025 after he had been arrested for DUI, but the jail decided to let him go instead. And so now he's killed 3 people. Again, I don't know if they're Americans or not, but either way, he murdered 3 people here in the U.S. And now he's supposedly facing accountability. We'll see how that goes. The thing that sucks about this kind of stuff is they want to throw these people in prison, which is accountability, but then we're paying for them to live in prison for 10 years, 20 years, whatever, and then they're supposed to get deported. What if they don't get deported? Because nobody knows if they'll actually get deported or not. He was already arrested for DUI and they let him go. He might get out of prison and then they just let him go again. And then maybe he'll murder another 3 people. So, I don't know. It's a shit show. Either way, next up, we got Long Island man dies in father's arms after woman cuts his throat. She stabbed him in the neck while he was taking a nap. I hate that. I hate when that happens. Fuck, it's coming up next. But first, we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about this illegal that killed these 3 women. Guess there you are talking about your thing in the chat again. Every day. Every day it's like that. Appealed to heaven, as the story showed, it was probably his kid, and he got a dispute with the mother-in-law, went mental, killing all 3, thinking he'll get away with it. Yeah, it definitely could be. What's up, Magic Moon? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Pure Blood? Happy freedom to you. Totally Care sounds like Cartel silencing. Could be. He definitely could be Cartel. Pure Blood, yeah. Lone Wolf, of course they let him out. Yeah, and look what he did. Elder Zoomer, I consider myself a refugee from California. We're praying for you. California is a tough place. For the attacks and fuck California. How do they get away with doing this shit? I don't know. They act like it's another world. Same thing with Portland. Like, they turn that place into a domestic terrorist shithole, and people just leave it like that. They don't do anything about it. Elder Zoomer, I was stabbed in my sleep once. 1 out of 10, wouldn't recommend. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been stabbed while I was sleeping. I got slapped in the face with my phone one time, and that led to like this whole like domestic violence case and shit. That was awesome. The whole time the cops are like, yeah, but what did you do? I was sleeping. I was fucking sleeping. Yeah, but what did you do? I got slapped in the face with a phone, and it hurt really bad. They're like, yeah, but you must have did something. No, I was on the receiving end. Not where I prefer to be. Chris, why hurt the baby? Mental evil. Yeah, I don't know how somebody could do that. He stabbed a baby. Like, regular people can't do that stuff. What's up, MU? Happy freedom to you. They're going to say he's got mental illness, and they're going to let him go again. It's just a poor guy. Poor 28-year-old. Let him go. Happy freedom to you, Plastic Quack. Behind enemy lines. You stay safe out there, Plastic Quack. Done. I was stabbed while I was handling a knife. Don't sharpen knives while drunk. That's pretty good advice, Dutton. Don't cook bacon naked. That's more rules to live by. What's up, Lee Bart? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Blade? Happy freedom to you. What's up, D-Boz? Happy freedom to you. Alright, hooligans, moving forward here. Like I said, Long Island man dies in father's arm after a woman cuts his throat. The way they talk about this woman is strange too, because they're not saying it's his girlfriend, but she was welcome into the house. She was there all the time, and he was taking a nap while she was there, but was not his girlfriend. So I don't really know. They also don't know why this happened. Either way, hit that like button. Let's get into this.
We begin with that murder case on Long Island of a 22-year-old man who died in his father's arms after he was stabbed in the neck while he slept.
News 4's Paisley Chang live for us in Massapequa now with new details about that woman who police say carried out such a heinous crime, Paisley.
Yeah, Adam and Gilma, you know, family members of the victim cried out loud in court today as the prosecutor detailed how this young man was killed. 22-year-old Kristen Scully is described as an acquaintance, and now she's been charged with his murder. Why she allegedly did it is still unclear.
Did you do it?
No comment from Kristen Scully as she was led out of police headquarters in handcuffs. The 22-year-old accused of killing 28-year-old Bobby Carragher in his home.
Kristen Scully became angry towards our victim and stabbed him in the neck while he lay sleeping in bed. He climbed the stairs to seek the assistance of his mother, screaming.
Police say it's not clear if the two were romantically involved, but they were acquaintances. Scully had been invited to his house. After his parents found him bleeding to death in the kitchen, a massive police search ensued, with cops searching every corner of this neighborhood.
I woke up at 2 in the morning to red lights and woke my mom up, and then we saw that there was something wrong with the house because there was a lot of cops and ambulances.
Police say Scully was found hiding inside the Carragher's home along with a pocket knife they believe is the murder weapon. Today, she was charged with murder in the second degree. She pleaded not guilty. Neither the Scully family or the victim's family stopped to speak to reporters, but Bobby's friends remembered him fondly.
Bobby lit up any room he went into. He was the funniest person ever that ever lived.
Wouldn't even hurt a fly.
A lot of sick people.
The kid wouldn't hurt a fly.
Friends say Scully and Carragher had been friends for several years.
It's a girl he spoke to, and he's been to his house multiple times. She was welcomed in by his family, and
She waited for my friend to fall asleep and she killed him.
Scully was not granted bail. Her next court date is June 4th. Meanwhile, friends of the victim told us that they plan on having a candlelight vigil near his house at 8:30 tonight. We're live from Massapequa. Paisy Cheng, News 4 New York.
Paisy, thank you.
All right. Craziness. That would suck so bad. There isn't even anything you can do. Like, what can you do? You're already bleeding out. You can't do shit. You were sleeping. Saying this 22-year-old woman has been arrested after being accused of killing this 28-year-old man. She's accused of stabbing him in the neck while he was sleeping. She was found with a pocket knife that they believe is the murder weapon. Friends of the victim said he was a good dude. His friends seem cool as shit. I'm on their side. I think she's an asshole. I think she is a bad person. Either way, next up we got Lefties Losing It. And like I said, I split it into 2 parts so we can have part 2 tomorrow for Friday. Today it's titled Confused Pronoun Princess Embarrasses Herself, which makes me wonder if it's a herself at all. Anyways, it's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see what you all can think about this 28-year-old who was stabbed in the neck while he was sleeping. Snug, she's not human. Yeah, she's an asshole. Zero, I bet she was kicked out of wherever she was staying and he was being kind to her and let her stay there. Could be. What's up, Cass? Happy freedom to you. Cass, yeah, we're getting down to it. Sedan, very stupid girl. Yeah, absolutely. Appeal to Heaven. He wanted another girl and she went mental and bam, died. I mean, it could be. I don't think they have a motive. Let me Google it really quick and see if I can find anything, because, you know, time passes, details come out. So let me see if I can see if there's a motive of any sort. Said that they've known each other for years. They spent several hours watching television in the basement before the attack. She attacked him at 1:30 in the morning. Became angry and stabbed him in the neck, severing an artery. Let me see. She's got no bail. I'm surprised. She was observed smirking on her way out of court today. Or I don't know if it's today, but whenever she went to court. May have been acting in self-defense. They don't have any reason to. It just randomly says, stated to the investigators are looking into whether Scully may have been acting. Oh, may have been acting in self-defense. I don't know how. How are you in self-defense of somebody who's fucking sleeping? That sounds like straight bullshit. That she was in self-defense. He was in the middle of a nap, but she was defending herself. Let me see. Why did she do it? Self-defense. They should laugh right in her face. Just right in her face, breath and all. Describing the incident as a hookup gone wrong. There was evidence of possible drug use prior to the attack, though no substances were recovered at the scene. What? There was evidence of drug use, but there was no substances recovered. This story sounds fucked up. Possible drug use, no drugs found. Self-defense, he was taking a nap. She's angry, hookup gone wrong. I'm not reading any more about this. It's fucking pissing me off. Fuck that noise. Anyways, hopping in the chat. Like I said, Lefty's Losing It coming up next. Those are terrible excuses. Zero, mental illness, yeah. What is that face? Zero. Oh, that's not from today. That's funny. That's funny. Dud, maybe he was choking her out when he was sleeping. Let me see. Dud, my cousin killed his wife in his sleep when he was off his meds. Well, that's unfortunate, but that doesn't sound like that's what's happening here. Ah, you're jumping the gun here. Appeal to Evan. It's Pickles. He was snoring too loud. That sounds like woman math, like girl math right there. He was snoring, so I stabbed him in the neck and he died. They'd be in the comments being like, "Yeah, bad bitch power, blah blah." Women are goofy like that. The young ones are. Total care, bottom line, psycho bitch. Yeah, she stabbed him in the neck while he was sleeping. Done out of taking her with me. That's me. That's me. You stab me in the neck, you better put me down right there. If I get standing up, we're both going down. There's no way. What's up, Stoner? Happy freedom to you. Stoner, the baby did a racism to him. Talking about the illegal. It was a racist baby, and that's why he stabbed it. That's unfortunate. Watchmen, been married 30 years. The snoring thing has merit. That is funny. I only snore if I drink, which I don't hardly drink at all. But if I do drink and I sleep before like drinking a ton of water and sobering up, I will snore so hard I will wake myself up, and that's how I know that I do it. So I don't, that's part of the reason why I don't drink. The other part's hangovers suck. I'm too old to have hangovers. Ghostly, that's what I think. That's absolutely what I think. She's just a piece of shit. Wrench, now for dating, you need to see the list of meds they're on now. Yeah, well, that, and you got to ask them if they have a wiener and shit, you know. Then you ask them what the relationship with their dad is like. You know, you got to do it in that. But no, you should start with the wiener stuff. But, you know, dating's hard. Salty Ginger, let's see, crazy women nowadays. I'm sick of them giving us good ones a bad name. Yeah, well, and they're all getting brainwashed on the internet now, so the young ones, by the time they're in their 30s and 40s, we're going to be overpopulated with angry cat ladies. Hair juicer. My son-in-law shot a guy 3 times over a QP. Only got 8 years. Did he kill the guy? Meta, every day it seems like someone is offing people. Very depressing. Well, there is a lot of us in this country. That's why I get upset when we get near big events. Like when the Iran war started, we had a whole week where there was just no news. Everything was all about the Iran stuff. And I'm like, nah. Somebody got pushed in the subway. Somebody got killed in California. An alligator ate somebody in Florida. Like, don't act like we don't have news to cover because the Iran war started or, you know, whatever. They did the same thing with the Ukraine war. It was like for 2 weeks, that's all the news was. Guess, nah, asking if they have a wiener takes the surprise out of it. You just wait till you got balls on your chest. It's not good. It's not good at all. Anyways, moving forward here, you guys. Like I said, we got lefties losing it. While I'm getting this pulled up, what color is Rita wearing today?
It's time.
Well, who's going to start us off here? So, Canuck, happy freedom to you. Titanium TT Silver. You might be right, Canuck. You might be right. Today's going to be your day. Watch. Zero going with gold. Guess I'm going with skanky scarlet red. You can smell that color. Pure Blood going with pink and white. Elder Zoomer going with yeller. Bill Clay going with narple. Watchman pineapple yellow. Too Old to Care going with lime green. Guess who? Rita's wearing her favorite Jeff Mack is her daddy black t-shirt. I hope you're right. Guess who? I hope you're right. Peeled Evan burnt orange with white blouse undershirt. Chris going with tan. Snooks 36C boobs and heart shaved coochie. You might be right. We're gonna need her to take her pants off so we can figure it out. Zero the Ghost of Sam says magenta. Ejano going with red. Blade going with creamsicle orange. Lee Bart going with gray. Is that everybody? Salty Ginger going light pink and white. I think that might be everyone. You're running out of time. Salty Ginger, quarter pound. Magic Moon going with black. Today Rita's got on orange, and I think that's black underneath. It kind of looks brown, but I think it's just the camera trying to focus on all that orange going on. Now her fingernails are red, and that doesn't match, but that's okay. It's Rita. Hit that like button, and let's get into this.
It's time for Lefties Losing It. Let's start with this young lass who seems rather confused, and it seems like she wants to confuse others as well with a variety of contradictory pronouns.
You know what else is in my bio? My pronouns. They, she, he. Why? Because I'm non-binary. Yes. There are more ways to be queer than just being capital G gay. Also, I'm literally pansexual and my partner doesn't change that. I feel like in the big year of 2026, we should know that. Highly recommend reading some books and touching some grass.
Oh, honey, take your own advice. People who touch grass and read books don't typically subscribe to your crazy views and pronoun protocols or victimhood narrative. You know, if you're one of the people out there who's watching this and who's put pronouns in your bio, it's time to have a good hard look at yourself. Do better. Now we have some delicious lefty losing it content, and we have to thank Secretary of State Marco Rubio for his sterling contribution here. But first you're going to hear from a Democrat, I've never heard of her either, Sydney Kamlaga Dove, carrying on like a fruitcake during a House hearing.
We're talking about a $1.8 billion slush fund, and I think that's corruption. The American people think that's corruption. They want to know if you think that's corruption.
Okay. Number two, this goes right to the point of transparency. You're absolutely wrong about the way the money flows. It's pretty straightforward, and I'll share.
So I'm going to have to reclaim my time again because
well, then,
the
what kind
question
of process
about
is this? They get to ask questions and you don't get to answer?
It's my time. The question
I don't know
about
about
corruption
when is it my
really
time?
important.
So why am I here if I don't get to answer your questions or your defamatory statements?
I'm reclaiming my time, Mr.
I want
Chair.
you to, but I want to reclaim. Well, do I get time? Because you make these defamatory
Chair.
statements and no one can talk here.
If
this
you
is crazy.
can't call out corruption,
it is crazy, and that's the entire process. The Secretary of State, who has about a dozen roles at this point, is wasting his valuable time appearing at a hearing, not to answer questions, but to watch Democrats have little tantrums.
These guys just get to talk and I don't get to answer?
Who determines the barrels of oil that get sold? How many of them?
But you won't let me answer your question. I have an answer for your question.
Where is it going?
Oh, I get it.
will
They
let
have to
you.
use their time for me to answer your question.
The onus is on you to prove that there is no corruption happening.
Well, how do I prove it if you don't let me talk?
That is your responsibility as the Secretary of State.
And when Marco Rubio was finally given a few seconds to respond, the Democrat asking the questions there fled the chamber.
Why is she leaving? I'm going to answer her questions.
I will.
Oh, okay, I got it. Well, thank you for coming.
And here is Democrat Madeline Dean also misusing this hearing to rave and rant rather than seek answers.
And we saw an incredible
Again,
amount of the aid flow into
reclaiming-
Hamas's hands.
Reclaiming my time. The aid was
Here we
held
go with the
up at
reclaiming
the
our
border
time
by Israel, and
You
you
guys got to
know
fix
it.
your rules here. You can't even answer a question.
You're not following the rules. You're very familiar with how this works.
No,
The
I
time
don't. I
is-
never served in the House.
time
This is a weird rule.
the
Will you
time
ask
is
a question
mine.
and I can't answer?
Would you please add time to the clock?
Nope.
And to complete this terrible trifecta, here is Democrat Sarah Jacobs ranting and raving about shoes.
Just like you couldn't admit that the shoes the president bought you were too big. You clearly don't know what winning means. And not because the facts are unclear to you, it's because telling the truth would cost you your job. And the American people are entitled to a Secretary of State who tells them the truth even when the president doesn't want to hear it. And my constituents, our service members, deserve better. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
I don't know what shoes she's talking about. What is she talking about?
Representative Burchett, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If you'd like to answer any of that.
Yeah, I don't know about the
I'll
shoes.
give
I mean,
you a
he gave me
minute.
some Florsheim shoes. They're actually pretty good. They fit fine. I don't know what she's talking about. And maybe that's what she's referring to.
Your shoes look very nice today, Mr. Secretary.
How can you see them? They're way down here. We're talking about shoes. Are you guys kidding me? I mean, is this the Foreign Affairs Committee or is this like a circus? What is this?
It's a circus. To California now, where
All right, that is lefties losing it. I like how Rubio just looks right into the camera and he's like, what the hell is going on here? Finally, somebody is asking the real questions. That does wrap up the news. We are getting into the fun stuff. We got our 2 funny videos of the day. First one was provided by Ghostly and it's titled, Now You Know. And our official funny video of the day was provided by Colty and it's titled, Trump is perturbed. Perturbed? One or the other. Either way, that's all coming up next. But first, we're going to hop in the chat, see what you all are going to think about lefties losing it. Get some clown show? Yeah, absolutely. And like I say, every time we cover clips of that, it's nothing important ever happens. Nothing ever comes of the shit. They talk about all their problems. They admit to federal crimes and all kinds of shit, and then nothing ever happens. So at least Rubio is making it entertaining this round. Branch, that's how I feel every day. What the fuck are they talking about? Yeah, Wrench, absolutely. 10 man, you big dummy? I know. He's like, why do you get to ask me questions? I don't get to answer them. Because it's a shit show. I forgot to add to the schedule. Anna Paulina Luna is getting some spotlight right now. And I like Anna Paulina Luna, but some goofiness stuff just happened where I don't know if it's an activist or what it was, some pink shirt wearing individual, some liberal, was lecturing APL as they were walking down the street. And when APL wasn't, I don't know, replying the way that this liberal wanted her to, she kind of like tapped her on the arm. She was like, hey, da-da-da-da-da, whatever, just kind of, briefly tapped her on the arm. Which, you can't do that, right? You can't touch people if they don't want to be touched, whatever. But they're trying to say that Anna Paulina Luna is screaming assault and battery and saying she was assaulted and she's being victimized and all this stuff because this woman lightly tapped her on the arm when they were walking down the street. I don't know if that's actually what's going on, but she's getting a lot of spotlight right now because of that, and I forgot to add it to the schedule. So maybe tomorrow we'll cover. It's a very short clip, and it's all really stupid. I can't tell if she's being gaslighted right now and they're just pretending that she's claiming to be assaulted, or if she's actually out there telling people, oh, she was assaulted, when, I mean, yeah, by definition, I guess, but really she was lightly tapped. No need to call victim, but we'll figure it out tomorrow. Guess who? Jeff goes before Congress dressed as a clown with a horn to honk. And when he is asked, what is a woman, by the left-wing member of Congress, yeah, guess who? I don't think they would ask me that. They don't want these problems. Bill Devin, she's getting ready for Halloween. Did they celebrate Halloween in Australia? Probably not, since it's not a real place, but, maybe. Free the Good Texan, Rubio's a mini Trump. There's a lot of people saying that they would vote for Rubio if he ran for president. Totally care the wrong lips are flapping. I agree. That is so funny. Sedan, not the American people. Some American people. Yeah, Sedan. I've said that since KJP was press secretary. I hate when the White House comes out and they go, but the American people want this, that, and the other. And like, nobody ever asked me what the hell I want. Snooks, Vance, and Rubio. Yeah, that's what a lot of people are talking about, that they would vote for Vance Rubio. Agent O Blade cheated. Blade didn't even get it right, but that's all right. Meta. Oh, I can't really describe it because YouTube and Twitch is watching. They'll get all sensitive if I talk about that. The pan stuff, it doesn't mean that they're attracted to everyone. It means that they're attracted to everything. Like, they could be attracted to a lighter. A pan person could be in love with Mac the Screaming Goat. Like, and then that's their relationship. Like, these people have in relationships with AI, they're basically pan. But I don't know. I don't understand the 32 flavors of flamboyancy, but I know that that's part of the pan stuff. The pan stuff was the first stuff I ever heard of, which was years ago, like more than a decade ago. That was the first new flavor of flamboyancy that I had heard about, was the pan stuff. Meta. Let's see. Oh, talking about Nancy Guthrie, how it eclipsed the news. Yeah, and now they don't talk about it at all. It's because if they talk about it, then they have to admit their failures because they can't find her. They could find every one of the J6ers, but they can't figure out who kidnapped this famous woman's mother, you know? And so, I don't know. They don't talk about it at all now. Guess well, my lighter's pretty hot. Mm-hmm. Alright, hooligans, let's get into the fun stuff. Like I said, we got our 2 funny videos of the day. But before we get into this, I want to remind you, hooligans, really quick, if you'd like to support the live to keep us running, you're welcome to use the links in the video description. We have PayPal, Cash App, Stripe, Zelle, Venmo, Locals. Buy me a coffee. You can send something to the P.O. Box, or you can even send crypto. Let's get these funny videos pulled up. This first one was provided by Ghostly. Like I said, it's provided by Ghostly and is titled, Now You Know.
Platypus are weird, but I'm not sure you quite understand just how fucking weird. So, everyone knows the basics. They lay eggs, they sweat milk, and they look like God hit randomizer on the spore creature creator and just called it a day. But you see, mate, that's barely even scratching the surface of weird platypus features. First up, as is the qualifier for any Australian animal, did you know they're venomous? No, I'm not fucking with you, you heard me correctly. Male platypus actually have venomous spurs on their hind legs. These spurs are multi-purpose, acting as defense from predators, as well as a tool for throwing hands with other male platypus during mating season. And while their venom is non-lethal, that doesn't mean that getting stung by them doesn't fucking suck. See, platypus venom can cause extreme pain and swelling, and to ensure you remember not to fuck with them again, these effects can last for several months and have no treatment or anti-venom. So if Perry stabs your shit, your only option is to cry about it. Next on the list of offensive capabilities, I shit you not, platypus share the same hunting method as sharks. You see, that big-ass bill isn't just for show, as it contains enough surveillance equipment to make the CIA blush. Possessing the ability to sense changes in pressure in the water, but most importantly, containing electroreceptors that track electrical signals from muscle contractions made by their prey. Meaning that when whatever they're chasing starts quaking in fear, they know about it. And last but not least, as if those things weren't already unbelievable, we recently discovered something new. Platypus are fucking biofluorescent. They glow. If you hit these things with a black light, they go bright fucking green. And the best part of that is, we have no clue why they do it. I guess it just means Perry was a biblically accurate platypus man. I'll give up, man. Who fucking designed this thing? Platypus are weird.
Mm-hmm. Gotta ban those assault platypus. Now you know. Now you know. The real end of mankind. Get into our official funny video of the day. This is provided by Culty. How do I make this full screen? Can I not do that? Okay. Either way, this is provided by Culty and it's titled, Trump is Perturbed.
BB, what are you doing? I'm trying to make a deal with Iran and you're about to bomb Beirut? I didn't approve this. Nobody approved this. Turn the troops around. Right now.
Donald Hezbollah is shooting at us. We have every right.
Turn them around. I'm not asking BB, I'm perturbed. You know what perturbed means? It means the next phone call isn't friendly.
We're turning them around.
Good. Now call Hezbollah and tell them to stop shooting.
You want me to call Hezbollah?
I already called them. They agreed. You agreed. Everybody agreed because I made one phone call from a golf cart on a Saturday.
You negotiated a ceasefire from a golf cart?
BB, I've done bigger deals from worse locations. I once closed a trade deal from a bathroom in Mar-a-Lago. The location doesn't matter. The voice matters. And this voice just stopped a war between the 7th and 8th hole. Very efficient. Nobody's ever done that. Now, let me finish my round, would you?
I'm not convinced.
Nobody's ever done that. Baby Trump is hilarious. Well, that does wrap up the news today. I'm going to grab this linkless link really quick. I'm going to drop it in all the chats. We're going to read through. We got the Pledge of Allegiance coming up, and then we're going to be raiding out over on Rumble. There we go. There's the linkless link where all of my links are listed. So if you'd like to make donations, join membership programs, or purchase any merch, really appreciate it. All of your guys' contributions keep us running every day except for Sunday, because you got to have a day to recharge those batteries. Definitely go join Discord. Discord is our free hooligan community. It's the best way to be notified every single time we go live. The hooligans are there keeping the conversation going 24/7. We have 2 news boards to keep you up to date with everything going on around the world. So definitely go join Discord. If you're feeling real saucy, go join jeffmaclive.com. Over on the website, it is the best way to experience the live. Our built-in chat has more ability than any other platform. You can post memes and GIFs and custom emojis and links and all kinds of stuff right there while watching the live. You will also have access to Hooligans Alley, which is our private social media area. You'll have access to all the features over on the website, so definitely go get yourself a membership for jeffmaclive.com. It's the home of the hooligans. Now, like I said, we're going to read through really quick. We get the Pledge of Allegiance coming up, and then we are raiding out over on Rumble. Let me see. 10 man, I need a beer. It's beer 30. For sure. Cheers to you, free thinking Texan. Hey, thanks for hanging out with us, Too Old to Carry. Enjoy the rest of your night. Pure blood. Humans are also biofluorescent. I've never heard that before. Chris, a pan is one of those hospital toilet things. You're right. Stoner, I love the AI Vance stuff. I do too. I like the Rubio and the Vance memes. I feel like that's securing their place in the next election. Bioluminescent. I see. Pure blood. Heard you, who designed this fucking thing? Yeah, I know. And the guy's got an Australian accent. At the very beginning, he's like, it's weird. So, I don't know. It wasn't until he said it the second time that I realized he was saying weird. Super weird. Thank you, Zero. Oh, I appreciate you, Patriot Dad. Thank you for hanging out with us today. Enjoy the rest of your night. All right, hooligans, it is that time once again. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we did the thing. It is that time once again. We are going to be raiding out over on Rumble, but first we have to cut off Twitch because the raid is against community guidelines over there because the platform rules are soft. So if you're watching on Twitch, you'd like to be a part of the raid, you're welcome to join us over on X, Blaze, Kick, YouTube, Rumble, or JeffMacLive.com. Otherwise, I'll see you Twitch Hooligans tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Everyone else, sit tight. You got this raid coming up. And of course, you can sit loose if you want to, but we're going to judge you. We're going to judge you harshly. All right, let's figure out who we're raiding today. Everybody's live right now. Let me look at the list really quick because my brain don't remember things. Doom Gnome is live. I don't remember who that is. Alistair's live. Misfit's live. Let me see. Quiet Part Podcast is live. Angel's live, but I think we already rated Angel. Oh, yeah. I just remembered the pink taco emojis. I forgot. I'm going to have to add that stuff in. I made the emojis. I did I forgot to add them in. Now I remember. Now I'm looking at Angel. She's calling me out yesterday about her pink taco. Pudge is live. Waffle Meat's live. Frag's live, but I think we rated Frag already. Cat Dog's live. I think we're rating the Cat Dog. What time is it?
Reload.
Give me the time. He's been on for 2 hours.
I got you, Uncle Poe.
Uncle Poe.
You ain't going.
We're raiding the Cat Dog. Let me get this pulled up real quick, like. I'm sweating to death. Raid. There we go. Hit that like button as soon as you land. Let's get raiding.
Fuck away from Uncle Poe, bitch. Piss me off. Oh shit, Jeff Mack with the raid. Happy freedom, everybody. Welcome in, Hooligans. Welcome in, Jeff Mack. We're saving Uncle Poe right now. We're at a wedding. Shit went AWire. There was gangs got involved. People died. But holy shit, we're gonna save Uncle Paul. I appreciate you coming in. I appreciate you coming in. No more magic. Smash that fucking like if you haven't already, baby. We're playing Sleeping Dogs. This is also known as the third true crime game. Officially, unofficially. Cass, welcome in. Zero, welcome in. I appreciate you guys coming in and spreading the love. Sir Pickles, welcome in. I appreciate you guys coming in and spreading the fucking love tonight, man. Holy shit. This game is so badass. This game is so badass. Welcome all in, man. I hope you guys had a great stream over there, man. I love you guys, bro. Truly a favorite gamer. I appreciate you, Cass. I appreciate you. It's so much love to you guys, bro. Let's get those likes up, baby. Hell yeah. I love that energy. I fucking love that energy. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for the love and support, bro. Thank you so much. Hair Juicer, welcome in. Got a cute little gremlin as your profile picture. I appreciate you guys, man. So much love. We're trying to get Uncle Poe out of here, chat. You might just see some crazy action shit coming up. I don't know yet. We're about to find out, chat. We're about to find out. I appreciate you guys coming in, smashing the like. I hope you had a great stream with Jeff. And it truly is an honor. It's truly an honor to receive a Jeff Mack raid. So I appreciate and love every single one of y'all, man. Thank you so much, bro. Much love to you, Jeff Mack. Much love to the Hooligans. Now let's fuck some shit up. We gotta protect Uncle Poe.
Cat Dog cracks me up. Fantastic raid, you Hooligans. Well, we are wrapping this up. We'll read through really quick, but we'll be live again tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. I'll try and do better. We were really late today, but for whatever reason, today is just taking forever. So I'll try and do better tomorrow. What's up, Sam? Happy freedom to you. Sam, zero guess magenta for you when we were watching Rita earlier. You almost got it. You almost won today. Be safe out there, 10-man, but have a good time. No, zero, yeah. It's funny. Zero, yeah, there was a lot of people live on Rumble today. Appreciate you, Wrench. Thank you, Magic Moon. Right, mine? Yep, raiding the Cat Dog today. Cat Dog's awesome. Appreciate you, Cass. Thank you for being with us today. I think we are good to go. Sitting here sweating my face off. Thank you, Zero. Appreciate you. Thank you, Watchman. All right, hooligans, we are good to go. Like I said, we will be live again tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. I really appreciate all of you guys being here. Thank you so much for helping me cover the news, and thank you for helping me make the news suck a little less. You guys are fantastic. Go enjoy the rest of your day. Go find yourself some good food, have fun, and be safe. And I'm going to try and do the same and make your way back to us tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Huge shout out to everyone that made donations, joined the membership programs, or purchased any merch. I really appreciate all of you hooligans, and I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much for all your support, and I'll see you on the next live. Until then, stand tall, shine bright, and that's a wrap.